Skool, hey! Inside school, learning will begin the year.
All right, welcome to Inside Skool. We are diving into what's going on, like the conversations happening within the school community. It's kind of like getting a sneak peek behind the scenes, seeing how people are connecting and finding those innovative ways to communicate.
Yeah, like peeking over the shoulder. We've got this awesome case study, a post from a Skool user, Joseph Sasaki. And what's really cool is the whole conversation that blew up around it. It's a real glimpse into how folks are actually using the platform.
And this Inside Skool deep dive, we're going to really try to get to the heart of what made Joseph's challenge so interesting. So he decided he was going to respond to all his school notifications. And get this, over 99 of them, all using Loom videos, trying to get that zero inbox. What can this tell us about the power of human connection in these online communities? All right, let's break it down. What do we got?
Inside, the supplies are here. Come on inside to Inside Skool.
Okay, so Joseph, right, he starts off by saying hey, I'm drowning in notifications here, but instead of just banging out quick replies, he decides to do something totally different. He makes a choice to answer each one with a personal video using Loom.
Yeah. And his reasoning behind it, that really sets the tone. He actually says, and I quote, "There's a real human behind every comment, and they're worth your time." Whoa, that's powerful stuff, right?
Totally. Right. He's basically saying Loom is this secret weapon for creating, as he calls it, authentic, personalized human connection. And get this, he thinks it's actually more efficient than typing, which is kind of mind-blowing,
Yeah.
We always think video takes, forever.
Totally. But he's like, no, hold on, think about it. It's faster than typing out all these long responses and, fixing all those crazy voice-to-text mistakes, right? And get this, he's not even stuck at his desk. He's talking about recording these Looms while he's, at the grocery store waiting for his kids to finish up practice, even on a 5-mile walk. How cool is that? It just goes to show how accessible this whole approach can be.
And that's so key, making it part of your life, not this big production. But, and this is kind of funny, it wasn't all smooth sailing, He actually mentions this moment where Skool went down for maintenance. And he was so close to zero inbox, only 12 notifications and 2 DMs left.
Yeah.
You can feel his commitment to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it even better, he shared links to 3 parts of his Loom recording so everyone could see what he was doing.
Okay, now this is where it gets super interesting. The school community's reaction, it was all fireworks. I mean, the comments were just exploding with those fire emojis. People were really vibing with what he was doing. What was it about Joseph's approach that sparked that kind of response?
I think it's really fascinating how video, even just a quick personal one, can break through all that text clutter.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it taps into that human need for face-to-face interaction. Makes the digital world feel a little less, digital. There were so many awesome comments. Sierra Melcher, she just went straight to the point. Love human connection. Really captures the essence of it.
Yeah.
And then you got Ben Carr, he's love the hustle. And Sarah Hankin, she's all hail the Loom King.
And that whole Loom King thing, it just took off like wildfire. Lauren Messina called him the Lord of the Loom. And Zahida Akan jumped on board too, saying, King of the Loom. It's clear Joseph really struck a nerve.
And what's really insightful is how specific the praise was. Sufyan Haju, he said he was genuinely touched by Joseph's video reply and felt a huge difference compared to just plain text. He even said Joseph's example inspired him. And MD, they also mentioned how unique and personal it felt. It wasn't just a generic good job. People were really zeroing in on the impact of those personal touches. Now think about your own experiences. Have you ever felt truly seen in an online community? Someone really gets you.
And it wasn't just people admiring from afar. Kevin Gregg, he was so pumped up by Joseph's example that he actually started using Loom himself. And Andy Neer, he even downloaded the app after getting a helpful Loom video from Joseph. That's action right there. A direct result of this whole thing.
It's like a ripple effect, right? Joseph wasn't just clearing his inbox. He was showing a more human way to engage. And people were like, wait, I want to try that. You got to ask yourself, what kind of impact could this personalized approach have in your own online spaces?
Okay, let's get into some specifics. Joseph wasn't just talking the talk. He was walking the walk. He was actively sharing those Loom links in in all his replies to tons of comments. He was fully committed.
We see a perfect example of this with Gabriel Koenig, who's using Loom as like a magnet for his finance and tax business over in Austria. He's offering these personalized Loom solutions to common problems. It's like a super smart way to use this tech.
Absolutely. It shows you how this can be like a strategy, right? Not just for answering notifications, but for marketing, for engaging with customers. It's a whole new level. And then you got John Hilton. He's suggesting to Dee Green that Loom could be like this workaround for some of those limitations in Skool compared to Circle, especially when it comes to voice memos and uploading videos. So it's like Loom could be this missing piece, or even make things better, you know?
Exactly. It's like people are starting to see beyond just the warm fuzzies. They're thinking, okay, how can this actually fix communication problems within the platform itself? That's something for you to consider.
Oh, yeah. And Mark Morse jumped in, too, totally intrigued, asking this really practical question about recording video and screen sharing from his phone. Like, he's ready to go. It's proof that Joseph's whole initiative really sparked people's curiosity and made them want to learn, you know? And Sufyan Haju, remember him? He was the one who felt his English wasn't good enough for a Loom. Well, guess what? He took the plunge and shared his own video reply. Now, that's what I call inspiration.
That is so powerful. It's all about leading by example.
Yeah.
You know, Sufyan was like moved to step outside his comfort zone. It shows how supportive the environment was that Joseph created.
Now, of course, like any good conversation, there were some different perspectives, some counterpoints. Michael Grundling, while loving the personal touch, brought up a really important point about efficiency, you know?
Yeah. Michael's like, hold on. While it's definitely more personal, this could slow things down. He made a good point about written communication often being like clearer and faster to understand. Yeah. And that spoken messages, well, they can sometimes get long and lose focus. So you got to think about time management, you know, and making sure the message is crystal clear. Brings us back to that question. How do we balance human connection with the practical side of online communication?
Emma-D, they sort of echoed that, saying, look, on those super busy days, sometimes a quick text is just more realistic because trying to do a personalized video for every single comment, that could get overwhelming.
It's true. It's all about recognizing different people's schedules and how they like to communicate. Not everyone's going to have time or even want a video reply for everything. So So where's that balance? When does that personal touch outweigh the quickness of text? That's something for you to think about.
And Joseph had this really interesting response to Aditya and RJ's suggestion about adding a voice recording feature to Skool. He really emphasized the importance of those nonverbal cues that you get with video, stuff you just miss with audio alone.
That's such a key point. Joseph's not just pushing audio. He's talking about that extra layer of connection you get from seeing someone's face, their body language, all those subtle things that add so much.
Right. And Rithwik Gopal, he had this brilliant observation. He said, Loom probably works so well because you can't help but pay attention when someone's speaking directly to you in a video. There's this automatic attentiveness that's different from just reading text.
So it's like video demands your attention,
Yeah.
right? It feels way more direct and personal, which leads to better understanding and a stronger connection.
Okay, so pulling it all together, what are the big takeaways? It seems like Joseph's his little experiment really showed just how powerful personalized video can be for building real connections in an online community. I mean, it clearly got people excited and even inspired them to give it a try. The lesson here for you is even those small personal touches, like a quick video, they can have a huge impact on how connected people feel online.
Totally. We saw how it affected people. They felt touched, inspired, closer to each other. It's like saying, hey, that extra effort with video, it can really pay off emotionally in a community.
But you also got to remember those practical points people brought up about time, efficiency, and maybe ending up with longer, less clear messages. It's a balancing act, for sure.
And thinking bigger picture, it suggests that this high-touch, personal way of communicating can be super valuable for building community and deeper relationships. But it might not always be realistic for every single interaction. You got to be smart about when and how you use it.
Exactly. And that brings it back to you. You know, in your online life, work, hobbies, whatever, where could this more personal, human-centered approach with video actually help you? And what are those trade-offs you might face with your own time and getting things done efficiently?
It's like this big question for everyone online. How do you add more humanity to those digital conversations? Joseph's experiment gives us one really cool answer, but it might not be the perfect fit for everyone, you know?
All right, so to wrap up this Inside School deep dive, we've explored this real-time experiment, how it played out, and all the different opinions it stirred up within the school community. It's a fascinating look at how we connect and learn in this online world, and hopefully gives you some things to chew on.
What's really neat is that this wasn't just some theoretical talk. This was a real person trying something new, sharing his experience, and it sparked this rich, insightful conversation. It highlights the value of these natural interactions on platforms like Skool.
Absolutely. And with that in mind, here's a final thought for you to ponder. Thinking about everything we've talked about today, what's one small step you could take, like right now, to add more of that human connection to your own digital interactions? Maybe video, maybe something else. And and what kind of unexpected benefits or challenges might you run into as you experiment?
These types of conversations happening naturally in online communities, they offer such amazing insights into how we build those meaningful connections in our digital lives. It's a constant learning curve. And Joseph's experiment, it's a great example for all of us to think about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So much to consider. Until next time, happy Looming.